If you want to know the road ahead, ask those coming back. It's a simple premise that implies that people who have direct experience of something can tell you a whole lot about what that experience looks like. In suicide prevention, though, we've mostly steered away from talking to people who experience thoughts of suicide, care for people who are suicidal, grieve the suicide deaths of people they know, or who have a whole range of experiences when it comes to suicide. There's pressure from governments and people with lived experience themselves to include these perspectives so that we can better tailor our support to people in crisis. But how we go about that in the most effective way is unclear. There's fog on the road between where suicide prevention as a sector stands and those who are making their way back from their experiences with suicide. In my research, I'm trying to change that by coming in with a fresh breeze to clear away this fog and bring some clarity to how we all work together in suicide prevention. As a person who has worked in suicide prevention and has a lived experience of suicide, I see my role as a researcher leading the way for both the sector and people with lived experience to co-create a knowledge base to build on. A review of the literature told me that we know very little about how and why people with lived experience get involved in suicide prevention. And I'm now interviewing people with lived experience about how they do this work, and I'm hearing challenges when it comes to being risk managed rather than seen as a whole person. People with lived experience integrate their suicide experiences with their professional experiences, but they're often rarely seen beyond their suicide stories. There appears to be gender-based differences, with men having different experiences to women, and I'm learning that we need to meet each individual where they are in their experience. I'm also reflecting on my own position as a person with lived experience in doing a project like this, and I feel a great pressure to do honour to the people who share their lives with me. My role as a researcher is not detached from the lives of my participants. Our experiences are intertwined and boundaries are really unclear as we become partners in creating an evidence base. From my research, I hope to promote the lived experiences of suicide prevention. These perspectives exist, but rarely have been given the status as a valid form of expertise. I hope to stop the road ahead avoiding those coming back, and to link the questions of those looking forward to the answers from those looking back. So I say again, to know the road ahead, we must ask those coming back.